Hey everyone, welcome to Hanging with Uncle. I'm Gene, and let's get started. Today I want to talk about maybe a shift in the tectonic plates, all right? But before we do that, please hit subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when new content comes out, and let's get into it. So basically I have a question. We already know that Cadet Bone Spurs has a lame duck presidency, okay? He can't run for office anymore. He's a lame duck, and not only that, he's extremely unpopular. His poll numbers are crashing and getting worse by the day. And let's talk about what's happening, because is there a bigger picture that we need to look at? And that is Mike Johnson a lame duck Speaker of the House? So currently, there are 219 members of the Republican Party that are in the House of Representatives and 213 Democrats. It's a very narrow gap, okay? Only a 6 swing difference. But let's take a look at what's going on, all right? Because there are 3 open seats in the House that require special elections because those seats are vacant prior to 6 months of the midterms. So the midterms are in November. May would be the cutoff. If you resign, retire, or are deceased, or whatever the reason you are no longer in a congressional seat, May or after, no special election is needed because it's within 6 months and you can run and campaign for November. But right now, because we are more than 6 months from that, there are 3 congressional seats, one in Texas, one in Tennessee, and one in New Jersey. Okay, so Congressman Gallagher passed away. I think it's Gallagher, the representative from Texas, and that seat is vacant. The representative from Tennessee resigned his seat, Mark Green, I think it is. And Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey resigned her seat to run for governor of New Jersey. Congratulations on your victory, Governor-elect Sherrill. But let's take a look at what's going on and how important these districts are, because now we know Marjorie Trader has announced her resignation from Congress as effective January 6th. Again, more than 6 months out from the midterm. So there will be 4 vacant seats that need to be filled. And what are the chances of those seats flipping, or are they going to stay in their prospective political categories? All right. So let's look in Texas. That seat is vacant, and it was held by a Democrat. And we know that Greg Abbott, Governor Hot Wheels, is slow walking the special election there because it was a Democrat that passed away, and it will more than likely be a Democrat that takes that seat. I say that because, number one, it was a Democrat, and number two, Texas has a problem with Latinos, okay? So I don't know why that a majority of them bought the bullshit from Cadet Bone Spurs, but Texas got a large majority of the Hispanic population to vote Republican. And now because of ICE and their practices and unconstitutionally rounding up people, depriving them of due process, especially Hispanics, because they want to close the border, and if you're Mexican, you're bad and you're considered illegal. That's how Republicans look at it. There's been a shift in the climate of Hispanic voters in Texas. So, number one, I believe that that seat would stay Democratic. And number two, I believe that it's this redistricting plan, again, to try and steal seats and disenfranchise voters from picking their representatives instead of drawing the map so your representatives pick your voters. I think Texas is going to have a big problem with that. And I believe if Abbott gets off his ass, no pun intended, and gets that special election underway, then Democrats will maintain that seat. Same in New Jersey. I believe that Mikey Sherrill's seat will remain in Democratic hands. But now let's look at Tennessee. Okay, and we have another super MAGA flunky running in that seat. And we already know that that MAGA movement is imploding, especially when you have MAGA Mike Johnson and the Republicans still blaming the longest shutdown in American history on Democrats when they are the ones responsible for shutting the government down. Again, my analogy is Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House. This is all on them and their inability to govern. And the fact that they want to point the blame on somebody else for this shutdown, to me, is equal to you driving the car and blaming somebody else for the direction that the car is going. Okay, it doesn't make sense. So we see through your lies and your bullshit, and people are tired of it. And I think as a result of all this, that MAGA Mike Johnson will be lame duck, and the seat in Tennessee is very, very much in play. So we know that the Mango moron won that district by 22 points last year in the elections, but now the Democratic candidate, Afton Bain, has closed that margin to about a 4% gap. So while she's still trailing in the polls, that gap has narrowed considerably, and Democrats actually have a chance in flipping that seat. And now let's talk about Marjorie's seat, okay? Georgia, if we look at the the special elections that were just held a month ago, or a few weeks ago, I should say, elected statewide 3 Democrats to their, I want to say, Energy Commission. I think that's what it was. Corporation Commission, Energy Commission. And those were statewide races that Democrats won handily in Georgia. So, will Marjorie's seat flip blue is another question. So if those 4 open seats flip to Democrats, that makes the congressional margin right now 219 to 217 if Democrats can flip every seat and win every special election. All right. It's just take a look and see what's happening. Look at these special elections. If you're able to help those candidates so we can preserve democracy and, put this train back on the right track. All right. Because I don't want the government shut down. I don't want to see anybody lose their health care. And I don't want to see anybody, go hungry. So let's, my hope, again, this is just me, we got to reverse trickle-down economics, repeal those laws that keep giving tax breaks to the rich, the people that need it the least, and start putting money back in the hands of the working class of America. Those are my thoughts. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Please leave them in the comments section below. I'm Gene. Thank you for hanging with Uncle. Remember, treat each other the way you want to be treated. Just be kind to one another. It's not hard to just be kind and not be judgmental. Just be kind. Love to know what your thoughts are. Again, please leave them in the comments section. Thank you for hanging with Uncle, and I'll see you next time.